Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the new Premier League season, which means the prediction show is back again. Now, last season it was a bit different. I used to go head on against different guests, but you never really used to calculate it at the end of the season. This time around, it's going to be different. It's going to be Glenn versus the football experts. 38 game weeks, hopefully 38 different guests, and we'll be compiling the points by the end of the season and see how the guests have fared against me. So the rules are simple. There will be 3 points for a correct score. That means if you predict a game 3-1 and it ends 3-1, you get all 3 points. There'll be 1 point for correct results. So if you predict, let's say 3-2, but the game ends in a 2-1 victory for the team you thought would win, you get 1 point. And also there'll be 1 bonus point for the 2 questions I'll be asking at the end. So there'll be no repeating. Like last season, we used to ask which player will score. There's no repeating the player. So I'll only be asking for 1 player at the end. So my first guest this season is Josh from FPL Graduates. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great, mate. Thank you for having me on.
First guest, man. Are you ready to represent, the football experts?
I wouldn't really call it a football expert, but I'll give it my best shot for sure.
Awesome. So we all know predicting the first game week is the hardest because we still don't know which players will be there. We still don't know what to expect from some of the teams, but I reckon you will be able. So the first game that will be played will be Brentford against Arsenal. What do you expect from that game?
It's going to be interesting, I think. There's a lot of different narratives to it. Obviously, it's Brentford's first game in the Premier League. They've got a lot of exciting players. I'm looking forward to watching them. And Arsenal, they've acquired Ben White. They've still got a very good core of a team. They're looking exciting in pre-season. For me, a score prediction on that game, I'm going to go 2-1 to Arsenal. I don't think you'll keep a clean sheet, but I think you will win it.
That's the exact thought I had. The moment we lost to Tottenham, I thought, yeah, let me reduce that score from 3-1 to 2-1. Because also, I imagine, but Brentford, this is the biggest game ever. First time ever in the Premier League. The fans
at home as well.
At home as well. New stadium they opened last season, so they'll be very, very ready for it. And I'm going to echo the same scores here. I'm going to go for Brentford 1, Arsenal 2. So the next game is actually a team that Josh supports, and that will be on Saturday, the early kickoff, and that will be Manchester United against Leeds United. Last season, I think it was 6-2. How about this season?
Yeah, it's going to be a good game, that. Obviously, United signed Sancho, Varane pending. Sancho's back in training today, so maybe he gets minutes against Leeds. It's going to be tough. Leeds have had like an up and down pre-season. They lost 4-0 to Ajax, and they were playing pretty much their first strength team. So that's a bit worrying if I was a Leeds fan. I'm going to go 3-1 United because they're looking very decent this pre-season. Since the first team players have come back, they're looking quite fine. So I'm going to go 3-1 United.
You're very right. And Ajax actually played PSV, I think, in their version of Community Shield 1 week later. And I think they lost like 4-0 or something over the weekend. So beating Leeds 4-0 and then losing 4-0 the next weekend, that'd be very right as well. But Leeds, when it comes to the Premier League, they're always very motivated. Last season, at the beginning, the first game last season, I think they lost 4-3 to Liverpool. I can see the same kind of game. So I'm going to go for United 3, Leeds 2. So a 3-2 win for United. The next game on Saturday will be Chelsea against Crystal Palace. Chelsea now. I don't know if Lukaku will be ready for this game. Crystal Palace, new manager Patrick Vieira. Any changes this season for them?
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I like Palace's team. They've signed a few interesting players. Gueye from Chelsea, 20 million. Anderson, I think that's going to be a great partnership at the back for them. They have lost a lot of players, though, as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can all gel together. Chelsea, obviously, Lukaku, if he starts, I don't know if he will. Maybe off the bench or something. First day of the season. But it's a great signing. Their team already is stacked with talent. So for me, I think this is one of those games where it's going to be, I reckon it could be a Chelsea blowout. Like, although Vieira and Palace got some good players in there, I think they're just going to wipe the floor with them, to be honest. I can't see Vieira taking Palace that far. I'm going to go 4-0 Chelsea.
That would take them straight to top of the table. I'm not sure they'll start that convincingly. Last season as well, when they signed Havertz, Werner, we thought they would smash all the first few games. But they kind of struggled a bit, lost the second game to Liverpool. I think the first game they beat Brighton just in the last few minutes. So I'm going to go Chelsea win definitely, but I'm going to reduce the score to Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 1. The next game on Saturday, now this season it's back to 3 o'clock kickoff, same time, like 6-7 games, which I don't like. I preferred last season when you have time, you get to watch every single game. But this season it's back to choosing a game that you prefer to watch, and it's great for FPL managers and great for Premier League managers who want everything at the same time and want the scores coming in at the same time. The next game will be Everton against Southampton. Now, if you predicted this game 1 week ago, there'll still be Calvert-Lewin, there'll still be Ings and stuff, but Calvert-Lewin is a doubt and Ings is out of Southampton by now. So, which kind of score do you expect in this game?
This is really tough because I went and watched the Man United Everton friendly, and Everton looked so poor. And I don't know if they'll have DCL or Richarlison, because obviously Richarlison's coming back from the Olympics. Whether they'll play him straight away will be interesting. Southampton, I haven't really looked at much pre-season. Obviously losing Danny Ings is a big loss because he's their main threat in front of the goal. Hearing they might sign Adam Armstrong from Blackburn, which will be interesting because he's been bagging goals in the Championship for ages now. I'm going to go, I can't see clean sheets at all in this game, so I'm going to go 1-1. I think a draw on the opening day would be a good result for both teams.
Okay, I'm glad you pointed out the Armstrong signing. I think he scored 22 goals last season in the Championship. Did you say you were in the game?
I went to the Man United Everton game, yeah.
That's why I'm calling them football experts. First-hand predictions. So I'm going to go for a low-scoring game as well. I think Everton will nick it a bit. So Townsend, fresh signings, those kind of players, Benitez. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Everton. 1-0 scoreline for Everton. The next game on Saturday is going to be Leicester against Wolves. Now, Leicester last season missing out on top 4. The previous season as well missing out on top 4. Wolves, let's be honest, the moment Jimenez went down with the injury, their season fell apart. Do you expect them to improve this season?
Well, yeah, the new manager, so maybe a new manager bounce in there. It's going to be interesting to see how they play. Again, I haven't watched them pre-season, so it's going to be my first look at the Wolves and how they play with this new manager. I don't expect them to be as defensively solid, but I expect them to maybe attack a little bit better under this new manager. Leicester, though, made great additions, as they always do. They haven't lost anyone, which I think is more important than bringing in the new players, because their team already was very good. Obviously, beat Man City. Not obviously a first strength Man City, but a very good side nonetheless in the Community Shield. I'm going to say a 2-1 Leicester victory.
2-1 Leicester victory. For me, I watched one Wolves game. They lost to Celta Vigo 1-0 last week at home as well. So I'm expecting them to struggle again in the first few games. So I'm going to go for Leicester win 2-0. I think Leicester are looking very strong with the new striker, Daka, with the new midfielder. As you said, no one has been sold. Hopefully, Maddison will be sold soon. But as of now, they still have him. So I'm going to go for 2-0 to Leicester. 2-0 to Leicester. The next game on Saturday, same time, kickoff as well. Watford against Aston Villa. Newly promoted Watford. Now, they had a very good campaign at home last season. I think they won almost 90% of 80. Okay, they didn't lose. Okay, they only lost like 10% of their home games, if you know what I mean. They only lost like 10 home games. The rest, they won, and a couple of draws. So their home form is very, very strong. Up against Aston Villa, who do not have Grealish anymore. Will Aston Villa suffer from selling them?
It's going to be. I'm so excited to watch this Villa team because, yeah, they've lost Jack Grealish, but they've brought in some great talent. Leon Bailey, Danny Ings, Buendia. They're really exciting players to play together. Watford, on the other hand, like you mentioned, really good home record. They've got some exciting players themselves. They've got about 500 strikers, which is always interesting. So I don't think it's going to be as clear cut. I'm going to go. Oh, it's going to be hard. I'm going to go 1-0 Villa. I think they're going to snatch it really late on.
I'm thinking this will be a cracker at the start of the season. I'm going to go for Watford 2, Aston Villa 2, a high-scoring game, 2-2. The final game, 3 p.m. kickoff, will be Burnley against Brighton. Now, the previous game I've just said is going to be a firecracker in terms of goals. This one, though, I do not think so. I'm going to go fast in this one. I'm straight up, Burnley 0, Brighton 0. How about you?
0-0 on the opening day. No, never a 0-0. Brighton, they're going to be interesting. I think this is a good fixture for them. I'm not sure if Chris Wood will be back at Burnley. I think he will be. Hopefully, he's had a great Olympics, which is good. Who do I want the back? I'm going to go with Brighton. I'm going to say Brighton 1-0. Burnley's home form last season was actually one of the worst in the league, and I don't expect it to improve. So I'm going to go with a Brighton 1-0.
Brighton 1-0. Okay. The final game on Saturday will be Norwich against Liverpool. I think a couple of seasons ago they also played in the first game of the season, although it was at Anfield, and it had a lot of goals. Last season as well, Liverpool's first game at home had a lot of goals. First game this time, Norwich away. Do you think Norwich will start this season like they did a couple of seasons ago, beating City, beating such kind of teams?
No, I think it's going to be the exact same, like in terms of them just struggling. They've lost Buendia, and I just don't see where really some of these goals are going to be coming from. I do think they'll score against Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool without Robertson, he's got like a moon boot on, which doesn't look very promising. So maybe there's somewhere to exploit in that team. But I do expect Liverpool to run away with this. I reckon it'll be, I'm going to say 5-1 to Liverpool.
5-1 to Liverpool. That straight takes Liverpool to top of the table, Chelsea second. So I don't think they'll get hammered that much. I'm going to go for Norwich to get a goal. In fact, Norwich to get 2 goals and Liverpool to get 4. So 4-2 to Liverpool. And then the final 2 games on Sunday, the first one will be Newcastle and West Ham. At the moment, they're missing their best players from last season, Willock and Lingard. But I think Willock will be back. I'm not sure if he's going to be back in time for the game. But the current squad, if no new signing joins up before the game, do you think it's going to be another high-scoring game here?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be one of those more cagey affairs. Callum Wilson, I'm not sure if he's fit for the game. He seems to have picked up a knock and is struggling a little bit. West Ham as well. They've got some decent players in that team. I'm excited to see the likes of Ben Rama and Bowen play. Hopefully, I think Bowen play a bit more centrally, like with Ben Rama. Now Lingard's not there. And equally, I think you'll see more Soucek now as well that Lingard's gone, because since Lingard came in, he sort of took a more reserved role. So I think he'll be back bombing forward a bit. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham win for this one.
2-1 West Ham win. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one. And then the final game of the weekend, the big one, Tottenham against Manchester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What's your prediction for this one?
I think it's going to be interesting. Harry Kane could be back for it, which is very interesting.
At the wrong team, though.
I know, Tottenham. Of all Tottenham, who would have thought they'd stay there? I definitely didn't. Man City as well, probably struggling because all their international players been playing in big tournaments over the summer, struggling for fitness there maybe. So I really like the look of Son in this pre-season. He's absolutely tore it up. He scored and assisted against pretty much, I think, every single game he's played, which is remarkable, really. So I'm going to go Tottenham 1, Manchester City 1. I think they're going to draw the game and that share their points. Man City didn't get off to a good start last season either.
Okay, yeah, very, very true. They actually struggled. They were like 10th until October or something. But this time round, I know the likes of Walker and Sterling are still missing, but Mahrez really should start this time round. I do not think they'll see it as a friendly like this or the Leicester game the other day. So I'm going to go for City 3, Tottenham 1. And they actually usually beat them before last season, Tottenham winning the game against City. Previous season, City always wins it away from home. So I'm going to go for 3-1 City win. So those are the predictions. Remember, 3 points for correct score and 1 point for correct results. Now let's get to the bonus points. The first question has changed from last season, Josh. This time around, it's one player to definitely score, just one.
I'm going to say Bruno Fernandes. Seeing him on Saturday, he's just ready. Like, he looks so sharp. Penalty, free kick, whatever he scores, he will always score. So he's going to get some points for the boys this weekend. Okay,
he'll get 1 bonus point if Fernandes scores. I do not know why I always do this to myself, but I'm going to go for Aubameyang to score in the opening day. His first goal in a lot of years. Aubameyang to score against Brentford. And then the next one is total number of goals to be scored this match week. I am going to go for 27. How about you?
I predicted some big scores, haven't I? So I'm going to say 33.
33 goals. Wow, that would be an interesting opening day, and I'll not be surprised at all. So that is the first prediction for the game for the season. Sorry, Josh from FPL Graduates. Where can they follow you?
Yeah, so we're FPL Graduates on all of our socials on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Instagram. They're our main ones. And yeah, thanks for having me on, Glenn.
No problem, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to smash the like button. And I'll catch up with you guys